In this podcast episode, Andrew Huberman explores the neuroscience underlying optimal learning, attention, rest, emotional processing, and the power of symbols in shaping the human nervous system. He offers insights into how focus, rest, and carefully curated environments contribute to neuroplasticity and mental health. The conversation further delves into the biology of dopamine and its role in motivation, addiction, and relationships, as well as strategies for managing change and stress in a rapidly shifting world. Huberman explains that learning and neuroplasticity involve two essential stages: intense focus and deep rest. The initial stage requires heightened alertness and concentration, mediated by neuromodulators like acetylcholine and adrenaline, epinephrine, which highlight neural connections for future strengthening. This focus phase is followed by periods of deep rest, especially during sleep or non-sleep deep rest, NSDR, such as yoga nidra and shallow naps, when the brain replays and consolidates learned information at accelerated speeds. This replay, often in reverse, strengthens neural circuits, enabling retention and mastery of skills or knowledge. According to Huberman, the brain naturally follows ultradian rhythms, cycles of roughly 90 minutes, during which it can sustain a relatively high level of focus. However, continuous, uninterrupted focus is rare. Attention fluctuates during this period. To optimize learning, people should limit distractions like phones and tailor their environments according to personal preferences for sound and stimuli. Taking shallow naps or NSDR sessions within hours after focused learning bouts can accelerate retention. Additionally, brief micro-rests lasting about 10 seconds, inserted intermittently during learning, trigger rapid hippocampal replay events, significantly enhancing memory formation. Huberman highlights the value of breaking down learning into small, intense increments, as the nervous system favors focused bouts of engagement rather than prolonged sessions. This approach is effective not only for young learners, but even into late adulthood, as neuroplasticity persists well into the 80s and 90s. He emphasizes that neurogenesis, the generation of new neurons, can continue late in life, reinforcing that the capacity to learn and rewire neural circuits is lifelong. Sleep, especially deep sleep and REM, rapid eye movement phases, plays a foundational role in learning and emotional regulation. During deep sleep, the brain consolidates memory through replay of neural activity, while REM sleep functions like a natural trauma therapy by allowing emotional events to be processed without the accompanying neurochemical consequences of stress, such as adrenaline release. This helps dissipate negative emotions over time. Protecting mental health. Sleep deprivation impairs this process, increasing agitation and emotional reactivity. Dreams translate experiences into abstract, symbolic representations rather than literal depictions. Huberman describes how the brain encodes objects and people as shorthand symbols, focusing more on the relationships between elements than their concrete details. For example, animals or objects in dreams can symbolically represent people or emotions. He recommends examining dreams immediately upon waking while in a liminal, relaxed state with minimal sensory input, allowing better interpretation of their symbolic meanings. The brain thrives on symbols, both external and internal, which shape subconscious states and neurochemical balance. Daily exposure to positive symbols, such as natural sunlight, meaningful images, and objects that foster safety and comfort, can reinforce neural circuits responsible for well-being and focused attention. Huberman stresses the importance of morning sunlight exposure to reset circadian rhythms, enhance mood, and ensure proper hormone cycling. Engagement with personally meaningful symbols and people creates positive neurochemical cascades, especially involving dopamine, which motivates future pursuit and learning. Dopamine is often misunderstood as merely the pleasure molecule, but Huberman clarifies that it is primarily responsible for motivation, reward anticipation, and reinforcing behaviors based on learned values. Its release is highly context-dependent and shaped by expectations, known as reward prediction error. Dopamine motivates pursuit of goals rather than simple enjoyment, and it can be trained to associate with a wide variety of experiences, healthy or addictive. Balanced dopamine signaling is critical for sustaining motivation without leading to harmful addiction cycles. Change naturally provokes stress because it disrupts the brain's predictive models, releasing adrenaline and heightening alertness. Huberman highlights the importance of understanding this biological response as normal, encouraging intentional practices that calm the nervous system. Techniques such as NSDR, yoga nidra, and meditation help disengage the brain's predictive prefrontal cortex, fostering deeper rest and emotional regulation. He points out that modern life's rapid contextual shifts, especially via social media, overload our attentional resources, requiring deliberate effort to balance broad environmental awareness with focused attention. Negative experiences produce strong, often one-trial learning that can dominate neural pathways and contribute to increased stress and anxiety. Because of this asymmetry, it is essential to intentionally cultivate positive experiences and symbols to buffer against negativity. Huberman underscores that while anger and frustration might be the most preferred stimulated brain states, these emotions serve functional roles in signaling the need for change or action. Recognizing and managing these emotional states helps prevent maladaptive reactions, especially in digital environments prone to conflict. Short-term dopamine fasting, abstinence from high-stimulation activities, can help reset motivation and reward pathways, particularly for those struggling with addiction. Still, Huberman cautions that true balance involves active regulation and understanding of dopamine dynamics rather than avoidance alone. This balance enables the nervous system to detect subtle positive experiences and sustain joy without dependency on extreme highs and lows. Romantic and other deep relationships transition from dopamine-driven novelty and pursuit to serotonin and oxytocin-mediated safety, trust, and attachment. Healthy long-term relationships require periodic reintroduction of dopamine through novel shared experiences or purposeful absence to rekindle excitement. Cultural variations reflect this balance, with some traditions structuring physical separation to maintain yearning and dopamine-driven anticipation. Understanding these neurochemical dynamics can improve relational longevity and emotional fulfillment. Huberman emphasizes the importance of building a life filled with positive symbols, meaningful relationships, deliberate rest, and mindful attentional practices. This intentional curation offers resilience against the overwhelming negativity and rapid change prevalent in modern environments. Harnessing internal symbols, like mental images or deeply held values, along with external cues such as sunlight and meaningful objects, enables the nervous system to optimize motivation, learning, and emotional well-being. In closing, Huberman advocates for a daily habit centered on deliberate calming of the nervous system through practices like deep rest or controlled breathing. This habit, paired with early exposure to sunlight, provides a powerful foundation for emotional stability, health, and joy. He stresses that many of life's difficulties arise from uncontrolled stress and reactivity, which can be mitigated by cultivating the ability to calmly regulate attention and physiological states.